So Google has just released Gemini CLI, and this is a terminal-based AI agent. So it can do things like create files or generate actual code or even use images and stuff. And I'm just going to take you through the article here, and then we'll look at installing it. So the article here describes that this is basically an AI agent for the terminal. You open it up in your terminal and you type in like create me a file with this in it, and it will do it. And yeah, basically down here they're giving us free resources to use. So they're allowing us to use Gemini 2.5 Pro for free, which is amazing. If you want to use Gemini 2.5 Pro, you usually have to pay an API cost of like $10 per 1 million tokens that you get out of the AI. And yeah, it's basically free when you're using this Gemini CLI tool. And we get 60 requests per minute, which is a lot. I don't think you're going to be using that 60 requests per minute, even if you're building something that's really intense. And then we get 1,000 model requests per day. So this limit is not that high, but remember this is free. So 1,000 requests to the model per day per user. And all of this is available free of charge. And then down here they give us some features of it. So they say we can extend Gemini CLI by using a model context protocol, so we can use MCP servers with it. And we can customize the prompts and instructions. Basically, we can tailor Gemini for your specific needs and workflows. So I'm guessing we can add aliases to the commands and stuff to tailor it the way we want it. And automate tasks and integrate with existing workflows. So yeah, it has a lot of features that we can see here. And it is using Gemini 2.5 Pro, which is multimodal, meaning it can also work with images and stuff. And it's open source, so the entire project is up on GitHub, and that's where we're going to install it from in a minute. So yeah, that's basically the article that they've put out. So let's go look at this tool. So we headed to GitHub here, and the project is just called Gemini CLI. And down here they give us some instructions of how to run the CLI without installing it. So we can use npx here, which is, so npm is how you install something, and npx is how you run something without installing it. And before we install it, if we look up here, these are the features it has. So we can query and edit large code bases, and this is important. You can do this in and beyond Gemini's 1 million token context window. So yeah, even if the code base is huge, this tool can still go through that code base and check what's inside of it and stuff. And then we can generate new apps and PDFs, new apps from PDFs or sketches. So if you remember, Gemini 2.5 Pro is multimodal, meaning it can work with text, images, all of that stuff. So we can work with PDFs or sketches and basically show it a picture of what we want it to build, and then it can build an app from that, which is pretty cool. I think I'm actually going to test that out with a sketch that I'll make myself. And then we have a bunch of other features down here which we've already looked at, such as using MCP servers. So yeah, let's go ahead and install this. So it installs through Node Package Manager, and there's two commands down here. One is npm install -g, and then the package name, that's to install it. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm just going to open up a terminal here. And okay, once we hit enter here, this should start installing. Now the other command down here, Gemini, is how we actually start this up once it's done installing. So I'm just going to wait for that to complete. Okay, and it's done installing, and I'm going to close this terminal and open up a terminal from this test folder that I just created here to work in. So I'm going to open the terminal, and to run it we just need to type the word Gemini here. Okay, so when it first opens up, it will give you options here to choose a theme. I'm just going to go with this theme for now. And then it's asking us to select auth method. So we do need to log in to use this tool, and I'm just going to log in with Google here. Okay, so I've just logged in, and it looks like everything is set up here now. And remember, when we log in here, it's to gain access to those free resources here. So they're providing 60 free model requests per minute and up to 1,000 model requests per day. So that's why we need to sign into our Google account to gain access to these free resources. So I'm going to head back to the model here, and I'm going to just test if it can give me some information that's not related to building something, just like using the model directly on the website. So I'm going to say I'm creating a new Okay, so I said I'm creating a new YouTube video about Gemini CLI. Can you suggest a title for the video? Okay, and right now it looks like it's doing a Google search. So this is good agentic behavior. It's basically running services in the background to find the information I need. So it did a Google search for YouTube video titles, and now it's giving me some information about titles I can use. So this is good. This is what we want to see in an AI agent. And now let's see if it can actually create files. So I'm going to say create a basic landing page for a new Pokemon game. Okay, so right now it came up with a plan. So it says here's the plan. I'm going to create a main index page, index.html, and then I'm going to add style.css for styling, and I'm going to add the script.js, so basic stuff here. And then it says I'll start by creating the index page, and this is what it wants to create, and it's now asking me to apply these changes or not. So I can go through this and select yes, allow. Okay, and now it's done. It says I have created the pages. Let's go look at them. So I'm going to open up index.html in the browser, and this is what it made. We can see some stuff is not working here, like the images, but that's common in AI. It doesn't have links to the images that we need, but I'm sure if we add MCP servers for services that have images on them, we can get the perfect images to build out the site properly. But yeah, this is what Gemini CLI without any MCP servers or anything can come up with, and it is a really good design, just missing images and all of that stuff. Now it can also do other stuff, like because this is in the terminal and it's not specifically in a programming environment like VS Code, we can tell it like delete the files in the folder. Okay, now it's suggesting us to run this command to get rid of the 3 files it just created. And yeah, it can basically, we can do anything with it because it's in the terminal and not specifically inside of VS Code or anything like that. So I'm going to allow this. And now if we look at our files here, they should all disappear. And it can also recognize when it makes a mistake here. So it's saying, I apologize, it seems I made a mistake. Basically, I tried to use the del command in Windows, and that doesn't accept multiple file paths. Because if you look up here, it was trying to delete 3 files at once. So now it wants to delete index.html first. So I'm going to allow this. Yeah, I think the problem it's having right now is it's trying to delete index.html, and I have it opened here in the browser, so it's going to give errors. Okay, so I've just closed the browser there and it went through and deleted those files. We can probably also do something like cloning a Git repository. Clone this Git repository into our folder. And yeah, it just suggests us the commands to run here. I'm just giving you a basic example of all the stuff it can do. Obviously, since this is running through a terminal, we can ask it to do a lot of more complicated stuff. We can even ask it to send like requests to API using the curl command or stuff like that, and to automatically generate all the stuff that we need to do that. Next, I'm going to test what it said it can do by adding an image in here, and then telling it to use that image as an example and create us a page that looks like that. So I have my image in here, and it's just a screenshot of GitHub, and I'm going to tell it to build me a page that looks like this image. So I'm going to say there's an image in the folder, and I want you to create an HTML page that looks like that. Okay, so it's asking for the name of the image to reference. It looks like it didn't look through that folder and find the image itself. So I'm going to say sketch.png here. Okay, so it looks like it was able to read that file, and it came up with a plan to create the page now. And it's already written all of the HTML code here, so I'm just going to accept this. Okay, so it's done. It says I have created the index and style page based on the image you provided. I'm going to open that up and see what it looks like. And yeah, it's pretty good. Obviously, if we used something like React, it would be able to do this a bit better. But it definitely has all the elements as the actual GitHub page here. The style is just not that good. But yeah, like I said, if I told it to use something like React, I'm sure it could have done this 100 times better. And yeah, that has been GitHub CLI. This is a really cool tool. I definitely give this a 10 out of 10, especially because it's free. The best price for something is free. It was simple to install, easy to set up. We just needed to connect it to our Google account. It gives us a lot of free resources. We get, I think, 60 model requests per minute, which 60 per minute, that means we can ask it 60 questions every minute. And we can ask up to 1,000 different things per day. So that's a huge amount of free resources. So I definitely recommend checking this tool out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.